Alright, welcome to Just Magic the Gathering. I was actually up a little early and we have a bunch of snow. So I am on snow removal. I am looking at red or green spells on a couple levels. Although I did enjoy how my Historic Shrines played, it was questioning potentially doing something like the quick draft. I don't know. There were a few options. As far as just what to play, red, green. I don't have any specific red-green decks. I was almost wondering about my landfall deck being mono green. It would be the fastest to get me there. I actually had the modified red-green deck that I clobbered. And on that note, I was half tempted to clobber my white-black token deck. I think my token deck held up better than my modified token deck. So I'm not abashed about basically just deleting this. But I don't know. Since I'm just trying to get a game in, I was questioning maybe reworking part of my landfall deck. There are options going back to I was entertaining maybe another Ouroboros. There are things that I could definitely help improve my landfall deck. Where I don't think this is probably like my strongest deck to grind my rankings. I like the looks of it. He's playing red-black. And since I just need green spells, this should be a good way to get there. I was going to go for the Terra Symbiosis because I can go for the walk-in closet on 3. I'm assuming he's just going to block. And I'll take the Death Touch. Red-black. And that's actually what I needed, was the Indestructible until end of turn. But getting my card draw up will be beneficial. You gain 1 life. Another Death Touch. If I do my Saz's Chocobo, this will get me into my card draw, which is another land. And what is it that he does? At the beginning of your end step, if you attacked this turn, each opponent loses 3 life, and that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So I am going to be forced, if I'm not careful, to discard my land. Let's see what he does, because here he's going to push a 4/3. Draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise it does 1 damage to each opponent. No blocks. I will discard a card. Bye-bye land. At this point, I could do something as simple as the Traveling Chocobo, my Evolving Wilds. I'll take my card now so it doesn't keep asking me. And at this point I can just push. End turn. Depending on what he's up to here. Consumed by greed. Target opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power. If the gift was promised, return target card. So, Death Touch Rats. Assuming he's looking to push here. Resolve. I can once again just discard a card because I'm playing from my graveyard. The Ordeal of Nylea. What do I want to do here? Because I can do something as simple as the Ouroboros won't get me. I was wondering about doing my overprotect. Take action. And for my overprotect, I can trample it and get it to survive. I'll take a damage back. No blocks. He's leaving his death touch on the board. Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to double dip it. Submit one. And I'll take the 3 life penalty. At this point, I was wondering, I almost have to wrap this up quickly. If I want to do something like the Ordeal of Nylea, I can do something like the Mossborn Hydra. I'll decline on that. I need the counters for discarding at this point. So I'll decline on that one. Decline on that one. And it's going to decline. I could do the Terra Symbiosis. Renrare. Ride the Shoeproof will... Just trying to actually think about... All attack. And gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. Pretty solid. Was waiting on me. So here I can... In some ways it doesn't really matter which one I overprotect. +1/+1. Only 7's gonna bleed through. And there's no way I can get around that. Good game. I need to discard 3 cards. Because depending on what he can buff for... I don't know why he would have actually done that. Discard a card. Because yeah, that would have, I think, actually been his game. If he would have done an all push, because I only had 4 life. He could have gotten around my 1 tapped. But sometimes you don't see the win that's in front of you. I don't know. Either way. It was a fairly quick game. In some ways I feel a little bad for my opponent actually, because it's like, that was his game and somehow I won it. Pepidoo, the Mighty. Once again, I'm pretty happy with it. I think I only have 1 Ouroboros in this whole deck. I'm quite surprised I managed to get it both in both my last 2 starting hands. I need to get into some mana. Keep 7. He's playing red-green. And I'm gonna pop this now just because I want to be able to do the Shoopoof next run. I actually have this art pack. So, we'll see what he's up to. One was the Scry, one was the life gain. I can Earthbend Ascension, and it'll mana ramp for me. And now I can do the trigger on it. Here, I don't necessarily have a lot of options. I was almost wondering about just going straight for the Hydra. With 4 mana down, I could have done the Ouroboros, and that might have been the better option, because my Shoopoof... Breaching Dragonstorm. He can cast some random card, the Dragon Typhoon. Nice. Alright, at this point I could do something as simple as... And this isn't going to end well for him. Crunchity, crunchity. Let's see what he's up to, because this is basically his only round. The Dragon Typhoon was a phenomenal pull. But it isn't going to be enough to even, I think, remotely save him. He gets a free dragon out of the deal. Which one did he pull? Whenever a dragon you control becomes the target of a spell, it deals 3 damage to that player. And he was able to play a second Breaching Dragonstorm? And he is just playing red-green as a dragon deck? I like it. And he gets another card cast for free. My turn. Ordeal of Nylea. Play my Shoop. I mean, there's nothing you can do to prevent it. And I don't think he could have really asked for a better draw. Like, that was very well played on his behalf. He just didn't necessarily have the control to be able to deal with my monster. I do need to work my ring, so I'm just going to keep a clip on this. I just need to get one of my dailies knocked out so that I have room for tomorrow's. And Roka. Like Almond Roka. The pack leader. If I go with Saz's Chocobo here, I'm slowed down next round. And potentially even on round 3. So I mean on round 3 I'd be doing the Shoopoof, and then on round 4 I'd be doing the Traveling Chocobo. I do like that dragon back. And he's playing Shredder. So we'll see. I don't have a lot of... I think a lot more that I need to get in order to knock out my daily, so hopefully this will just do it. Just in a way happy to see that. Just gonna mana hunt another green. So let's see. He is playing white. And this is definitely not the first time I've seen this played. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. The Waystone's Guidance. Looks like he's trying to mobilize. So this isn't probably going to be the greatest for him. Activate ability. I'll spread my counters. And this hits hard and fast. Just trying to figure out what might be my best option next round. Is the walk-in closet. Because I'm pretty sure unless he can actually wipe me here, I can bleed around him. For one, he can void it. Looks like he definitely is thinking about taking out my Shoopoof. With 3 mana, he could do... Oh. With 3 mana, he could have potentially done like a void when I attacked, or relied on me attacking and then killing my creatures. But that did not get me there. I need 3 more spells. So one more quick round and... Desolate. Desolate? Desolate. Whoops. So, I do actually kind of like seeing that Earthbender Ascension there. I am... Since I have all the mana in the world, I can kind of just hold back on my Evolving Wilds. Green-blue. That had to have come out of the Spider-Man set when I wasn't playing. Insidious Fungus. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, draw a card. So I'm pretty sure if I play my Earthbender Ascension, he's going to destroy it. But seeking the land card for playing my creatures, I think is probably the better option. Let's see what he does. Pretty sure he's just going to pop the Insidious Fungus to kill the World Weave, which I think is a better ploy than its Impending. Whenever this permanent enters or attacks, draw 2 cards and then discard a card. So he did not seem to think my World Weave was as big of a threat as maybe I might have. Because I just got a free Terramorphic Expanse. The Earthbender Ascension will Tigron Predator, another way for dealing with enchantments. If he gets that damage through, which at this point there's not much I can do to get around that, he can start clobbering my... Let me do the Earthbender Ascension. Let's see what he does. Because that's going to give me a landfall. And since my triggers are double triggering, I can actually just straight push through right here. And as long as I can get them above the 3/3, return target permanent to its owner's hand. I still will just activate the ability. I was wondering, because he's going to push for the... destroy my enchantments with his flyer. Because all he has to do is attack. What did that do? Sugarcoat. Enchant creature or food. Enchanted permanent is a colorless food artifact. I probably should have gone with my Saz's Chocobo, or my Traveling Chocobo first. Because the 5/3 flying Impending that allows him to do the pre-scry is problematic. Resolve, autopay. So, at this point he's going to bring up that 5/3 flyer, and I'm just really relying on what I'm top decking. And he's going for my World Weave at this point. No more World Weave. The Trigon Predator is with what I used for... I can play you off the top of my deck. Options, options. I can actually play my next bird from the top of my deck. I can pop my food token to get my 3 life, and it'll now come back as a mana, which will get me another landfall trigger. I can do something like another one. Trying to figure out what the best option here is. The Ordeal of Nihilea will allow me to really mana ramp up. He gets to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. The Trigon Predator... Pass. I don't think I have enough to be able to push through right here. Create a token that's a copy. Extravagant Replication. Alright. I can do Terra Symbiosis. And I'll just take my action for a card draw. Second Traveling Chocobo. And at this point, I can still pop my Evolving Wilds. And there's nothing you can do to get around this. So that is 3 quick games. Pretty sure at one point he thought that might have been his, but he only has 1 untapped. And he has no mana to be able to do anything. I hope he just doesn't let this time out. Because that'd be a little unfortunate. I didn't even have to pop the other Terramorphic Expanse. Because the 15 would have gotten through even if he blocked the 16. But it's not going to necessarily forfeit him here. It'll just allow me to do the auto attack. It'll auto resolve for him. And then I'm happy to call it a day. And this will be his last time out. And yeah, just another probably 10 seconds to kill here. And then I'm looking to call it. Yeah. I like my little chocobo. We're going back to like the Saz's chocobos are mean. Even though there's 0/1s, they can build fast. Slowly churning platinum. And that will have knocked out my daily, if not 2 of them. We'll see. Yeah, I got 2 of them knocked out. But yeah, with that, happy to call it and look forward to doing some magic in the future.